sunk an enemy destroyer.
Here because you're doing fantastic. You got a fun video with You Bet It. It's not a normal destroyer right now. This is a big hunking kind of a destroyer, but it's actually a battleship, as you can see in the background footage. And the title of the video is, man, let's revisit the USS Wisconsin, one of my favorite class of ships in the game. And my gosh, I watched Euro's video. If you don't know who Euro is, dude, check out his channel. Is amazing. He gets like 100,000 views. Crazy amount of things, even like on par with Jingles here. So take a look at it. I actually watched his Wisconsin video, how to play, and actually, man, it actually is exactly the way he had described it. And he even quoted me in my channel when I actually posted that they should make this thing more OP because it's a disgrace. I mean, this is one of the best battleships, the iconic historical battleships like the USS Missouri, Iowa, the Iowa class. Definitely don't know why they didn't make it, I would say, in my personal opinion, more powerful for what the meta is today. But we'll get in that topic discussion. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. If you see value in what we're doing here, smash those buttons, and we can't thank you enough for your support. So let's get right to it. I'm in the military. Dude, love the Wisconsin. I've been on the USS Missouri. I've had definitely friends that have served in the Navy and talked highly about this, especially when at the academy I was at, that we had people talk about. I think we had one captain that came and spoke to our class, talking about Gulf War kind of stuff when I was a kid, just learning about the Tomahawk cruise missiles being launched off the Missouri, Wisconsin, Iowa class battleships. Pretty darn awesome and very, very memorable. I don't know if Wisconsin was part of it. I think they were. The Iowa classers are in there. I remember Missouri was launching Tomahawk cruise missiles like crazy, but very, very awesome to be on top of these, on deck of these ships, and just to see the historical, especially where they signed the ending of the World War II on the Missouri. But yeah, that's enough of the history about it. But definitely check it out if you ever get in Hawaii or even Los Angeles. You can see one of the Iowa class battleships. So as always, let's talk about why am I doing this. So actually, I wanted to revisit the Wisconsin, and I thought I almost wrote it off. I thought this was when it came out during the event. There was like a giveaway or a Dockyard. I think it was a Dockyard. Yeah, it was expensive though, so I think people had to put in some money. Look at the dispersion on those shells. By the way, this is exactly why the Wisconsin's powerful. It's Sigma 2.0 with great dispersion. You could see what we just did right there. I mean, you're going to land some hits, okay? But what happened was this event was kind of like I said, Dockyard. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I remember it being a Dockyard. It was a while ago. I just remember it cost a lot of time, effort, grinding, and money to get this thing, and we wanted to see if it truly was worth it. And most people are going to try to get it because why? Everybody has the FOMO because guess what? You can't get it again. I mean, you can't get it right now. All you can really get is maybe the Missouri. As you can see, I'm shooting my sister class right here, and oh my gosh, look at that, taking citadels like a champ, sending pain downrange. But like I said, Missouri is probably the closest thing you can get, and as well as Iowa. But Iowa's a tier 9, so doesn't make sense. Like some of the best battleships in the game that you want to be iconic, you would think that would have more accessibility and be more powerful. But and the TLDR, I think they should have given Valparaíso gimmicks of the F funny button to this ship rather than the actual Valparaíso, because I think this has got the secondaries. Put the Ohio secondaries, Massachusetts secondaries on the ship. Give it the dispersion it has right now, and give it the Valparaíso funny button key. If that's really what you wanted to do to make this gimmick work and actually make it so people were going to FOMO and spend money, dump money, that's kind of what they should have done. But the Valparaíso, which is basically the Vanguard, come on. I think it would have been more suiting for this kind of ship because of the iconic look of it, the historical value, the image of World of Warships. I mean, it's even on some of the posters and wallpaper of of World of Warships, the Wisconsin, Montana. Those are the kind of ships you want to see the USS battleship line. It's what makes and breaks the game, in my personal opinion. And of course, we're biased because we're Americans. We always want to see the powerful ships in our game. But I have not seen Iowa or Missouri. As you can see probably in the background, this is probably the first time I've seen a Missouri in a long time. Vermont slapping us from downtown right there. Like I said, Vermont very, very powerful. The brick. don't want to play. Now, Euro was saying don't play where you're basically brawling a Montana and a Vermont. You don't even want to play those guys. They got better armor, better guns, everything. Essentially, we're on an Iowa class hull. That's what's the downside. Very weak armor, very weak HP point. Look, we only have 85,000 at tier 10. You're getting battleships over there that they have 100,000. So not really playing with the equal matchup here. The only really thing is, again, the accuracy of the guns are so darn consistent. I almost feel like I'm in a Petro, okay? The amount of dispersion you can see right there. When I fire some of these shells, take a look and see the laser beams of these bad boys firing and how they all just pinpoint in one area. It's amazing. Of course, you got the nice, it's kind of not super heals, but okay heals and defensive aid and spotter plane. But here's the gimmick. The F-Bunny, if you hit it, you get the main battery reload time down to half. You get the consumables back really quick so you can get the damage con and the heals back real quick. Kind of like Valparaíso. However, it charges a little bit slower because in order to get this thing charging up, you got to get battleship hits. Essentially what you're seeing right here. Look how long it takes for these shells to travel as opposed to secondary hits and the Valparaíso is a little bit more manageable. So, and I guess the reason why they didn't do it is because they don't view Wisconsin as a, look at 8,500 damage on that and broke his guns. That from downtown. They didn't view the Wisconsin like a brawler like they wanted to the Valparaíso, but I thought they should have put Valparaíso second. Well, sorry, they put the American secondaries on the Valparaíso. They should have put the American secondaries on Wisconsin like this because they're American secondaries. Why not? Make them long range, let them charge up that way, and that way you encourage the brawling, the shooting, the fun, and so forth. But I think they wanted the Wisconsin to be more like a sniper because of the accuracy of the guns, and I don't know. I mean, I guess that's what the meta is today. I don't find it very enjoyable sitting around here just aiming at a ship and pressing left mouse button, hoping and praying for rain, and hopefully it works. It doesn't seem very enjoyable in my personal opinion. All right, watch this. Got 2 seconds to fire right here. I bet you we get this kill. Full send. We got 95,000 damage so far right here. Now he's burning down, I believe. Yep. Yeah, we're probably gonna get this kill. Look at it. If he gets down to 3,000, these shells are just plunging fire right into him, and boom! Look at that right there. Only one shell hit takes him out, and we get our first splash one of the day. Pretty redar. Now here's the bread and butter: killing and sniping cruisers. The Wisconsin, like I said, with these lasers guns, like literally like Petro Stalingrad style dispersion here. You're going to get a lot of these just, oh my gosh, look how beautiful that looks. Great horizontal dispersion, everything. And you would think I would get this, but RNG Jesus says, Bupkis. For some reason, it just fell short. I think it's because he turned. He probably knew it was coming too. So don't worry, we hit the funny button key. Look at our reload time. It just went from that to half and full send. Sending pain downrange. Just look at how gorgeous those shells are and kiss them goodbye. Bam! Like there, one Citadel hit. Those look beautiful right there. Splash 2, 109,000 damage. Shimakaze coming up on radar. Now, because we had that funny button key left over, we get a quick reload on here. And I did not have HE loaded in time. I just shot it before he went and disappeared. Not after we get 3 overpins, though. That took about 4 to 5K off him right there. All right, we got a Wami right in front of us. Now, this thing is actually a great brawler, in my personal opinion. I think that if you gave it the secondaries, you gave it the maneuverability, it's got good speed, it's got basically an Iowa. Slightly longer hull, it seems like, the way they built it for Tier 10. I don't know, it looks like an Iowa, but something about it just seems bigger in Tier 10 for some reason. All right, we full send it right there into Wami's side, and he's kind of angled. So these are 406 millimeter guns, so still doing 7,000 damage. We'll take it, but again, if you angle to these guns, they can either overpin or just, oh, ouch, that hurt. They can overpin or just ricochet like normal, 406 millimeter guns. So right now, we're just going to press forward. It's got the defense 5A, but A is trash. It doesn't matter anyways. Wami looks like he's going to burn down over here and get blapped. Or no, yeah, he's just going to burn down. All right, we don't have to deal with him. All right, let's see if we can take on the Vermont now. So what Euro told me about the Wisconsin here, you basically just angle in. Use the front 2 turrets, angle in. Your dispersion is great enough where you can just use the front 2 turrets and just, even though we got long reloads, 27 seconds, you could still do a significant amount of damage right there. Look at that, 14,000. We'll take it. Again, that's kind of like the style of this ship. It's just angling in using the front 2 turrets. You use the back turret if we're at the horrendous angles if you're long range away from enemy fire. However, you just cannot tank this long because you're not Valparaíso. You can really use secondaries to charge up the funny button to get these heals and damage cons back. You just got to it's based on timing at that point. So really, and you got to get the hits on these ships, too. If I miss, the funny button doesn't charge up. Look at 8,500 damage right into the nose of the Nemapolis right there. Even though he's nose in, man, these shells are just plunged right into you. And I believe we don't overmatch. I believe because those are 4 or 6 millimeter guns. But if you angle them right enough, you can really get some nice, sweet damage in here. And again, I'm not the expert about battleships. I'm a destroyer player. I was just trying this out to see. Let's see if Wisconsin is making a comeback, or is it just the way we look at that dispersion? Look at the. It's just like laser beams right there. 10,000 right into his nose right there. So very, very nice. We got 3 ricochets, but 3 of the other shells hit because all 6 shells hit because of that dispersion. Beautiful shot right here. Isn't that gorgeous right there? Seeing the Vermont just showing us full broadside. And like I said, it's just you're just relying on the just nosing in, and you mitigate so much damage that way. And you got the heal ready to go, and I got the funny button key if I need that heal back. So I would pop the heal, wait for it to go back on cooldown, then pop the funny button to get it back again. So it's kind of like Valparaíso, except you got to charge it based on hitting. Just shooting at ships. So honestly, I would recommend to change the meta style of the game to make it secondaries. But again, Iowa class battleship, nothing glaring to make it even more cooler than it really is. I just wish it was like I said, make it powerful like Valparaiso, make the Wisconsin, viable. Like I said, good shot right there. Look at that splash, 362,000 damage. It's still, in my personal opinion, man, if you play it like Euro taught, it's a good ship. It's not bad. It's really this nose-in sniper kind of, almost like Petro kind of gameplay. If you notice, I'm just nose-in. I'm not really using the back turret as much. But I don't see many people playing Wisconsin, obviously, because most people didn't get the event. I don't see many people playing Missouri. Missouri, you saw earlier, was the first time I've seen it in maybe several months. I haven't seen that. I rarely see Iowa's. Iowa's just melt and burn down anyway, so you rarely see. So again, the American battleship line just seems like it's not being viable, but look at that. Okay, River, you got enough ready to go away. Exactly. Thanks for, Hell on Heels. Thanks for saying hello and being a good sport about everything. Love when you guys are nice out there. You guys are awesome. But yeah, anyways, I don't really see many of the American battleships being played other than Montana and the Vermont. Those are then they have to have some kind of, my personal opinion, gimmick. Like Vermont's got the, brick. Ooh, look at that Citadel shot right there. I hit the funny button key, bring back the reload, so I want to get this last shot. So you can follow up shots real quick, like Burgoyne and John Bart kind of style here, and just aiming right above the water line. Look at those shell dispersions. Look at that, right, and bam! Look at that Citadel and the kill. Splash 4, 194,000 damage. Yeah, Vermont's got the, it's 457mm guns, 12 of them. That's its gimmick. Montana is just Montana. It's got 12 guns and great survivability, so that's what it's got going for it. Wisconsin, Iowa, eh. Oh, full send, and do we get... I bet you're going to get this Kraken, aren't we? I type in chat and go, look, guys, Kraken on the way. Let me call it. Here we go. From downtown, paying down range, and boom, there it is. Splash 5, Kraken, and wins the game. So Wisconsin, like I said, not bad. And I wish it was more powerful in the gimmicks of... Like, if they're willing to do Valparaiso the way it is, why didn't they do Wisconsin the way it is like this? Make it that, so that it would have been worth it, in my personal opinion. But again, they took it away. Most people can't get Wisconsin anymore right now, unless they have some kind of an event. And that's pretty much it. I mean, they just wanted to do the FOMO event, just like Valparaiso. You can only get it through an Admiral pack. Why didn't they make it powerful like this? But anyways, probably people are complaining, saying Valparaiso is monstrosity. Anyways, why do they introduce these kind of gimmicks in the game? But anyways, that was a good game right there. 197,000 damage, 5 kills, a lot of Citadels. Bread and butter is the Citadels if I can aim. We didn't really shoot many shells right there. Efficiency. Look at the efficiency badge. We got it. Confederate. Dreadnought. Kraken. Way to go. How did we do in the team? Yep, behind the... Ooh, John Nunn. Way to go, buddy. And detailed report. We only fired 168 shells, but look at 181,000 damage. Airstrikes. That actually costs money, if you believe it or not. Did you know that using depth charges costs money? And I'll show you why. This is hilarious that this is even a thing. Look at this. Ammunition supply. And let me show you. Hold on. Okay, look at the ammunition supply. Look at that. Depth charges release costs 6,400 credits. The fact that it even costs money to even depth charge a submarine is laughable, in my personal opinion. Okay, I get it if you shoot shells, but come on, depth charges from airstrikes and are not even on my ship. That's costing me credits. I think that's hilarious. So it's going to cost me money just to destroy a submarine that can kill me at will. Whatever. Anyways, that's my gripe for the day. But I hope you enjoy the video. Wisconsin, fun. It's still there, just not Valparaiso levels. But if you play it like Euro teaches you, it'll work out well. So Bill will be at the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Until next time, talk to you guys soon. Make sure you say hello out there and smash those buttons. Like, subscribe, as always, comment below. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.